What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado. This is an RST 1500, finished off in the sterling gray metallic. MSRP is $54,000. Now this has the Turbomax engine. It is a 4-cylinder engine. So I'm not about to misspeak when we go over the specs, but let's get right into this 4-cylinder full-size truck, see what it has to offer. Underneath the hood of this 2026 Chevrolet Silverado, you're gonna find the Turbomax engine. This is gonna be a 2.7 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. We get 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. This has an 8-speed automatic transmission. It also is a 4-wheel drive truck. Curb weight's gonna be close to 5,000 pounds. Overall towing capacity is rated at 9,500 pounds. We have a 24-gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 17 miles per gallon in the city with 20 out on the highway, and it has a 3.42 rear axle. The overall length is 231.9 inches with a wheelbase at 147.4. Width is 81.2 and height is 75.5 inches, and then ground clearance is 8 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling, the 2026 Silverado is pretty much unchanged. We've seen this for several years now. Still a great looking truck. You're gonna see a nice design on the headlights with an LED bulb, a nice looking running light throughout it that cuts kind of through the grille. We got a blacked out Chevrolet logo, a lot of body color throughout the upper grille, and then gloss black for all this large mesh. Down below we have metal recovery hooks. You have fog lights down here as well. Some gloss black trim, a nice little air dam, and then you can see just some sharp lines all throughout it. It's gonna be a trim piece underneath the headlight section, and I like how the body color cuts towards it. So still a great looking truck, even though it's been around for a couple years in this design, but we really can't go wrong. Sharp lines all throughout the hood, got that Turbomax logo as well. Silverado badge on that front fender with a really sharp line fading into the door panel. You can see how we have that body color down below, and then a nice set of 20-inch wheels. Gloss black with a split 5-spoke, Wrangler tire on it as well, and then a nice black tube style side step. Got some sharp body lines down below, body color door handles, plastic and gloss black on these nice side mirrors, and then all black trim throughout the windows. Now being the full crew cab with the shorter bed, got a really good proportional side look, really nice overall shape to it. Still a great looking truck, really have no complaints. Got your lighting up here as well with this roof line having a nice sharp line, solid rear glass, 4x4 badge, and then some sharp lines throughout the rear of this truck. You're gonna see this nice design on the taillights, RST badge, Chevrolet stamped into the tailgate, Silverado logo, as well as side steps on the body color bumper. So again, just looks really good, can't complain. We have your button right here to release the tailgate, as well as a camera and your LED light. Trailer hitch receiver with all the plugs by the license plate. And then for the key fob, got your Chevy badge, some chrome trim, tailgate release, lock, unlock, as well as remote start. If I go ahead and lock the truck, you can just grab the handle, press that button, and we can take a look at the interior. So this RST, more of a basic spec with a fabric interior, as well as a 6-seat capacity. We do have some nice soft touch materials, so this wood style trim, silver accents, lock and unlock, and then all of our controls down below. Got a good grab handle, and then all this soft touch material throughout the door panel. Nice large speaker, and then we have some aluminum trim, power controls, and again, just a more basic fabric seat. Got a texture throughout the insert, simple style for the headrests, and then a leather-wrapped 4-spoke steering wheel with silver trim. And then now inside the 2026 Silverado RST, keep my foot on the brake. Let's fire it up. 4-cylinder roars to life. Got your blacked out Chevy badge. Controls on the left side for cruise control, distance pacing, heated steering wheel, voice commands, and other controls on the right. Behind the steering wheel, we do have the track and volume button. You're gonna see a gear selector on the right column, and then we have controls on the left side for windshield wipers. You're gonna see a nice looking gauge cluster with your speed and tachometer. We have information in the center as well. I can scroll up and down, and you're gonna get a lot of other info popping up. So really good to see several vitals throughout the truck, distance pacing, things like that. And then we can scroll left and right. We have their display layout, so classic design. We got one that kind of fits this bezel as well, full digital, and then a simple one as well if needed. So cool to be able to configure this again in more of a base model truck. So really cool overall. And then if I continue left and right, we have other options. So you can even configure where you want to see in these sections. So we can have compass, all sorts of different information. So again, really nice to see just what you want in this truck. Over here, we have our four-wheel drive control. You can see two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and auto. We have our drive modes as well. That's going to pop up on the screen. We have off-road, terrain, sport, and normal. We have our trailer button as well, all the headlight controls, bed dome light, park and brake, then a little bit of gloss black trim all throughout that air vent. You're going to see this nice looking soft touch with this stitching pattern throughout the dashboard, a little hidden storage cubby. And then on the right side, we have this nice soft touch panel. That's actually an extra glove box. You're going to see your traditional glove box down below that is lockable. And then for the center multimedia screen, has a really good look. I like how we have our CarPlay integrated, and when you go into here, it's nice how we have this other screen that is configurable on the side. So kind of cool to not have everything dominated by CarPlay. And then if we go back to the home icon, we can just get out of that. We have all your basic Chevy information. We have climate that'll even pop up on the screen, which makes it very simple. So really can't complain with how nice everything overall looks. Putting into reverse, you're going to see a nice backup camera overall with some guidelines. And then underneath that, we have a physical home icon, and then we have other toggles. We have our lane keeping, auto start stop, tailgate you can pop down. Something I think every truck should have, one button to go ahead and put all the windows down. So that is really cool to see. Unfortunately, you can't bring them back up, so we will have to go ahead and pull them back up. But that is definitely an awesome feature. You're going to see physical climate controls too. So your dual zone temperature, heated seats as well. You have your fan speed in the center with all of your zones. Heated seats even can be back or both. So nice to see the two sections. We have our trailer brake adjustments as well. And then we have a bench row, we have kind of a leg rest area in the center. On the center console, we do have a lot of nice little storage areas, which I find pretty nice. Plenty of storage in the center. And then if we lift this up, we have this nice jump seat right in the middle for your extra passenger. From here, we can also grab the lever and pull this up, and there's going to be hidden space underneath the seat. One last look at the interior. Again, very simple and basic, but honestly, it gets the job done. Up above, you're going to see dome light controls, OnStar, and then a thin manual mirror. Moving on to the back seat space, just grabbing the door handle and opening it up. Door panel is similar looking to the front with the nicer soft touch materials and stitching. Got that wood trim as well. Once again, just all the basic fabric back here. Very simple setup. You can also see how the headrest will fold downwards for better driver visibility. There is storage behind each of these seats, and then we have air vents and plugs all hidden down below. For the seat base, we can lift them up, and we do have a very flat area for cargo. So again, for being a more functional truck, it does have a lot of space to use this as a good work truck. So hopping into the back seat with this Chevy Silverado. So again, being a crew cab, overall, this is gonna be pretty roomy. I'm 5'11" sitting here. I have a ton of headroom. Driver's seat's at my height, tons of knee room and foot room. The seat itself is fine. Again, it's very functional. It's a little straight up. The seat base is a little short feeling. So this is really like more of a work truck. Kids would be fine back here given that they are much smaller. So it's good enough for just utilitarian use, just maybe higher specs. Of course, we have a little bit better recline and some luxuries back here. But it's functional, it's got the space. What more do you need in a work truck? Onto the bed space now. We have a button right here, just electronically, give it a little tug, and we have a soft open. So this one's gonna get a nice spray and bed liner. There are a ton of different tie-down areas, which is a really good touch to see. Got the Chevy badge way far in the front, and then there's even a power outlet as well as an LED light on the right side, as well as the left side. From here, it doesn't really weigh all too much. We can very easily lift it up and close it. All right, so setting off now into the 4-cylinder Chevy Silverado. So normal driving honestly really isn't gonna be much different than your typical, more base model trim Silverado. It feels like a big truck as expected. Seats are comfortable. It's cool, of course, having the bench row and all that function. So it's a very utilitarian, functional work truck at the end of the day. However, it is nice in here with the nice large screen. You got the CarPlay, of course, you can connect, and then the configurations, a little bit of wood trim. So it genuinely feels like, you know, a nice vehicle at the end of the day for being, you know, more on the functional side, I would say. Armrests are comfortable, seats are comfortable. I wouldn't mind being able to push the pedals a little bit farther away because I feel like I'm a little farther from all this stuff when my legs are a little cramped, so wouldn't mind maybe a little bit better leg room, just a little bit different proportions in here. Visibility, like any truck, is perfect. You can even fold those headrests down back there. So pretty much what you would expect in this front seat. Handling, again, it's a big truck, so it kind of drives like a tank as you would expect. And then overall suspension, when you hit bumps, it feels pretty composed. So again, basically just a normal truck at the end of the day, exactly what you would expect it to be. Hitting these big train tracks, not even slowing down, and you can tell this thing is a big truck. Now, the 4-cylinder is going to be probably the biggest thing that's a little interesting with this specific spec. So we'll get back out onto the main road. Maneuvering this huge truck, comparing it to anything that I'm really used to. Turning circles pretty large. You got that old school column shifter. So again, it just drives like a normal truck. This really would be a good average work truck to just haul stuff and do things like that. However, I'm very curious with towing especially, and heavy loads in the bed of this. You know, is a 4-cylinder going to actually be able to do the capabilities that you are going to expect a truck like this to do? We'll bump it into sport mode, give ourselves a little bit extra sporty aspects with this 4-cylinder. Up to 45. Not bad, like it's peppy honestly for normal driving. However, you definitely notice you're in a 4-cylinder. Just the way the power comes on, the way the transmission feels, the sound of it, you know, you get that economy car soundtrack when you're accelerating, which is very, very different. You know, we thought it was crazy to see 4-cylinders in the Colorados, the Tacomas, the Ford Ranger, and here we are in a full-size truck. Now, of course, V8 is available, turbo diesel is available, but it is definitely an interesting option to go for. But I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Like normal driving, it is genuinely fine. Like you're not gonna even really have a thought. It's just that initial acceleration, and then if you are towing, you know, 6,000 pounds, 9,000 pounds, you know, is this going to handle it? All right, so my honest thoughts now in this 4-cylinder Chevrolet Silverado. So I think fundamentally it's definitely a fine truck for general things. You know, maybe even get this in a more basic trim as a fleet vehicle, work truck for a business or something like that. I can see that aspect just to save a lot of money comparing it to a V8 option or any of the Turbomax options. So I feel like they're giving you a good basic truck at the end of the day with this. It can obviously drive just fine. It does have plenty of power, especially with no weight or anything on it. So hauling general stuff using the bed space, hauling 6 people and stuff like that, of course it's going to be perfectly fine. So again, I'm very curious who this truck really is for. Is it going to be for, you know, base model specs, this engine for companies to buy, or is it going to be for personal use, someone buying this literally as their utility vehicle to haul their boat, their utility trailer, things like that? Is this going to be that engine option for that buyer? So I'm curious to see. You know, I've done a lot of towing. Diesels, when you're towing something heavy, is amazing. It just makes everything so much better. A V8 in a truck like this is fine. However, towing a 10,000 pound boat, even the V8 in this struggles a little bit. Now this rated at 9,500 pounds, I highly doubt it is fun to tow at the max capacity with this engine. You know, even 6,000 pounds, I highly doubt it's going to be that good, quite honestly. My brother's got a 4-cylinder Toyota Tacoma with the hybrid, so it has more power than this. That tows a 6,000 pound boat very well. So this is going to struggle, guaranteed. So with that said, again, I don't know if someone's actually going to buy this one for towing, which if you are, you probably should stick with a different engine. So it's just interesting. You know, comment below, what do you guys think about the engine? Because, you know, people thought it was crazy to see 4-cylinders in the midsize, and here we are in this. So I don't know, I'm not knocking it just because obviously you can get the V8 or a diesel, so it's not like they have only this option. And you can even get an electric one, which is actually really fast to drive and actually a pretty cool truck. So I'm just a little confused what the point of this engine is and who the target audience for this engine is going to be in a full-size truck. And maybe at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who actually buy trucks who literally don't tow, who don't haul, who literally do not do anything truck related in their trucks. So maybe this is for those people. Pedal to the floor. I mean, you get up to speed, but maybe this is for the truck buyer who doesn't do truck things. And you know, at the end of the day, you are getting a good space truck. You have the utility with the bed space, the four-wheel drive system to go off the beaten path and go places. But maybe this is for the truck buyer who doesn't tow and doesn't haul. There are definitely those people out there. We see them all the time, especially with certain lift kits and things like that on the trucks, who are just doing it for show. These trucks look good, done up, so you know, maybe this is one of those kind of trucks. Just buy this to deck it out and make it look sweet, and to be a vehicle that stays on the pavement and doesn't tow or haul. So again, those are my thoughts, I guess, on the engine. I know we're kind of heavily focused on the engine itself for this specific video and through this specific vehicle, mainly because everything else really isn't unchanged. You know, Chevy Silverado has been like this for a couple of years. Nothing really groundbreaking or anything all too new with it. It's just a good overall truck at the end of the day. And there are tons of options in the Silverado to really get one that is gonna fit your taste and your needs. Now this steep hill, I'm pedal to the floor this whole way. You can definitely tell, like, we're working this engine a lot, even just to do that. I mean, it makes it up the hill fine. It does accelerate. There's some cars that it is really hard to even gain any speed. But anyways, that is it for the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado packing the Turbomax engine. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content. And let me know your thoughts on this engine with the Silverado. I'll see you guys in the next video.